Day camp or sleepaway camp? That's the conundrum facing parents across the country, especially as school wraps up. And experts say there are some key questions you should ask before making summer plans. Joining me to discuss is New York City-based clinical psychologist Dr. Jephtha Tausig-Edwards, also known as Dr. Jeff. That's what your patients call you.
Yes, they do.
Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
But while parents are considering this option, or just the idea of sending kids to camp, I'm sure age is a big factor, but what else should they be thinking about?
Age is certainly important, but you also really want to consider the developmental level of your child. Where are they in their maturation process? How independent are they in their regularly scheduled life? Are they really ready to go to day camp versus sleepaway camp?
Do you ever suggest parents ask their children these things?
You can ask, depending on the age of your child. So the older children, I think, may be able to articulate things a bit better. I think it's also good just to be realistic. Is your child someone who's already asking for sleepovers? Do they want to spend weekends with grandma and grandpa? Are they very independent in their activities, or are they still having difficulty sleeping alone through the night?
Are you noticing that they want to get away from mom and dad? Maybe that's a little sign.
Well, that could be. If they're very into adventures and new friends and new experiences, sure.
And we phrase the question as sleepaway camp or day camp, but there's also an option of not going to camp. How do you know if your kid's not ready for camp?
I think they'll let you know. A very good indicator is to suggest this, or possibly even take them on a tour, or if that's not possible, look at pictures of the camp together, or maybe even a video or something, and see their reaction. Some kids definitely don't want to go to camp. Some kids would prefer to stay closer to home, maybe be with relatives, maybe do something in the immediate neighborhood.
And when you're doing research about a camp, you say there are a few things you should look for in terms of the staff.
Yes.
Why is that important?
You definitely want to see the ratio of staff to campers. You also want to see how many are full counselors, how many are assistant counselors or counselors in training. You also want to consider their training further in terms of pediatric CPR.
And what are the benefits of camp?
Well, your child is going to have a break from you as much as you're going to have a break from them. They're also going to be able to meet new friends. They're going to have new experiences. They're going to be interacting with new adults as well, and that can be very broadening.
How do you handle kids who want to stay in town, who want to stay at home, and the parents are maybe ready to send them off to camp?
I think this is a delicate negotiation that families have to have. You need to, of course, balance your children's needs with your own as parents. And there may also be very real work schedules and other commitments involved.
And how do you know the balance between staying involved while they're at camp or being a little too overbearing?
Well, you want to also check with the camp what sort of contact is permitted. Different camps have different rules about how often parents can call or email, whether even texting is allowed. And you want to make sure that you're comfortable with that and your child is too.
All right, Dr. Jeff, great advice. Thank you so much for all the input.